It's Shay.
It's Mimi, and you're listening to The Agenda.
The Agenda.
Hey BFOs, I'm Shay.
And I'm Mimi.
And we're here with our good sis, Cage. And you're tuned into another episode of The Agenda where me and my sisters are going to talk the good, the bad, and the
Yes, the
in dating, careers, entrepreneurship, and everything in between.
And if you don't know, BFO stands for Best Friends Online, because we want to make sure you feel like you just kicking it with the girls.
Right.
As we get into this tea.
With that being said, make sure you follow us on all the socials, starting with the pod on YouTube at The Agenda Pod.
Yes, and we're also on Instagram at The Agenda. And you can also follow me at Queen Miri. So Queen with a K.
With a K,
K-U
y'all.
with a K. KUEENMIRI.
And me at Shay the Poetess. And now that we got all of that out of the way,
Right. So
let's get into the real agenda for the day.
Let's go ahead and get into these current events first. Because, baby, look, what's going
The events
on?
is eventing.
The events are currenting. Y'all, look, bear with us.
Let me see. So I want to let's get into JT. So JT tweeted that she was starting therapy, and I thought that was so funny because if you recall from a previous episode, I'd asked if we thought Carisha needed therapy and went to therapy. So I thought that this was very funny. So how do we feel about the city girls getting in therapy?
I love that. City girls up 1,000.
Period.
It's definitely needed.
It's given. Yes. All right. What you got, sis?
Let's talk about Halle Bailey and the mermaid. Like,
Halle?
y'all, she's giving black girl magic.
Period.
Like, y'all, did y'all see? Y'all gotta, maybe we can drop a pic. Like, Halle was giving.
I actually want her loctician to come to
crying.
Tampa because
her and Chloe though. Oh, wait a minute. Chloe hair be laid. Like,
okay, we talking about mermaid though. It does, but I don't know.
they probably go to the same loctician. She
They
don't
do. She does both of their hairs. But yes,
Yeah,
she's definitely
I love
giving.
Love it. Just
Yes.
here. It's just for the culture. Love it.
And then so lastly for the current events, let's get into Tory and Meg, y'all. Let's get into that situation.
It's been a while and we have not.
Yeah.
We just haven't.
I'll let you go first, sis.
I don't. Ooh.
How do we feel?
I honestly, y'all, something still ain't right. I'm sorry. We've talked about it before. That's been my stance. My stance has not changed. Like, something ain't right. Somebody lying. Somebody's still lying.
Yeah, a lot of people lying or don't recall.
A lot of people stood up on that stand and lied. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're never really gonna know what happened. That's what it's giving.
That's what I mean. It's sad, and it's sad for the culture one because I mean I don't want to see either one of them in that light. You know, people with not trusting her or calling her, you know, like a black man is you sending a black man to jail. Yeah. And then I also don't want to see him as a black woman abuser. You know what I mean? So it's a very unfortunate situation. I do feel like a retrial would have at least been fair. And I'm sorry if y'all don't know what we're talking about. Tory Lanez is facing a minimum of 9 years right now for the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion, aggravated
and were
assault.
They trying to deport him as well? If I'm not,
possibly because he's not a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
So that's potentially one of the consequences. You have something to say, sis? Come on, jump in whenever you want to jump in, girl.
Honestly, I have not been up to date on the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion case.
Okay.
But do you feel like, based on what you know about the story, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely feel like it's two sides to the story. You have Meg, you have Tory, and then you have the truth.
Ooh,
I feel like it's just one of those things that we may not be able to find out. And I feel like we just have to sit back and let it unfold. Keep our opinions to ourselves.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because we did do a lot of talking about it. Because really we don't know. We can have our opinions all day.
Yeah.
We can, but ultimately he's gonna have to, he's gonna be the one dealing with the situation. So I feel bad for, his family, for Meg,
his
for
career kind of like at this point,
everybody. Yeah.
It's at this point, it's not looking good for him. I would say so.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway.
Right. So moving right along. So we done with current events for today. Or we gonna do that?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Look. Yeah. No. That's
all for now.
Okay. Until next time. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this Luxe travel. That's what we're unwrapping today. And as you can see, again, we have our good sis, Kay. So this has been my sister since, oh my gosh, years. We were college roommates, y'all. That's how long it's been. Without giving too much away, she is the esthetician, right? Orlando's favorite.
Right.
She is lash surgeon. The lash surgeon. Is that what's in your bio? I was gonna say something else, but I'm like, yeah, it's giving lash surgeon. The best. I would say Orlando, Tampa. She not touching nobody because I've tried. And yeah, it just hasn't worked out for me. She's mommy, right? And then last but certainly not least, travel extraordinaire. And that's what we're going to get in.
Yeah, she always flew out, y'all. I'll be like,
listen,
dang, where she at?
Always,
I try.
always flew out. I'm telling you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first question I have for you, how many countries have you been to?
So I think it's 16, and I'm trying to hit 35 before I'm 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
35,
1,600.
19.
16,
Maybe 19.
maybe 19.
Yeah. Somewhere between 16 and 19.
Nonetheless, wow.
She's well traveled.
Yeah, we talking. We're not talking about Miami because I love Miami.
Me too.
It's-
And Atlanta.
Yeah, Miami and Atlanta. This is. So fellas, if you're watching, this ain't somebody you can take to Miami. Don't flew my sister out
Not impressed. Not impressed with Miami.
to Miami or Atlanta. Okay, so my next question, let me ask you, what is like when you hear Luxe travel? So we're talking Luxe travel. What does that mean to you?
So I think luxury can vary from person to person, but honestly, I think it's just you being somewhere where you want to be and you can do whatever it is that you want to do and that you're happy doing it. I think that's luxury.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's giving get up and just
Get up
go.
and go. Get up and go.
Whenever
you don't
you
gotta
want
ask somebody when to do it, you just do it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. When you travel, have you ever done first class? Are we doing coach? Are we doing
Okay.
what are we doing when we travel?
So obviously my favorite is first class.
Of course.
Whose wouldn't it be?
Okay.
But I've done everything from first class.
Just
to
a minor
coach.
flex, y'all. I'm sorry. That's just a minor flex.
Right. Yeah, it was. Because look, I'm like, hey.
I think it just depends. So in the US, it's super easy to get first class. A lot of the time when you're traveling internationally, people have probably planned these trips years in advance. So for me, I like to get up and go. So I might book a trip 2 weeks before I go, and probably first class is booked out.
Very true.
But if I can, I'm definitely choosing first class.
Okay. So what is offered that's, oops, sorry, sis. Look, you was about to.
No, I was just gonna ask what is that experience like? But I think you were
Yeah, I
about
was
to
just
get
going
into
to say
it.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so the first class experience in the US is completely different than it is internationally. In the US, it's just like an open bar service. You get a full course meal and snacks versus internationally, I would maybe have a bed and I'd be able to have access to a shower depending on the airline. Full bar service, full meals, sometimes 3 meals depending on how far you're traveling. So it just depends.
I love that.
So I've seen people like with the seat where they're like laid back.
yeah, it's like a bed,
Yeah,
literally.
It's a bed.
Wow.
That's first
And you
class.
got bae with you. Look.
Exactly. Next to you. Yeah, that's first class. And I think it depends on the airline as to which one is better. But I know so far I've witnessed Emirates being the best. I haven't actually traveled on them yet.
Y'all taking notes?
But
Right.
Emirates
I
looks
am.
amazing. For real.
Emirates with an E.
Yeah, with the E.
Okay.
Look, with the E, because baby, yeah, I'm over Coach, I'm over Southwest, y'all.
So where you going next? Sis?
Listen, I don't know.
You don't
but
know?
I'm
Somewhere.
over. I need to.
Right.
Like, after this wedding,
I was gonna say
because
because honeymoon is coming, right?
Gone. Because baby, we just went to Buffalo and Southwest is just not. No offense. I think I'm over it.
Yeah.
Like not being able to like really pay for your seat, like all of that
It's
is
a hassle.
Yeah, it is.
It's a hassle.
It
yeah,
is.
I would honestly prefer to just pay the extra money. First class, maybe.
Exactly.
How much of a difference is first class versus?
Price difference?
Because I've heard like different prices where it's like, okay, that's not that bad. Like Delta's first class is not that bad. So how big of a difference do you see a regular flight? What's the price difference?
So it definitely depends on if you're doing domestic or international. Domestic, it can be anywhere from like $100 to $500 extra. Whereas if we're talking international, we're talking sometimes $25,000 flights.
Ooh.
It just depends.
Okay.
But obviously you can do that too with reward points on your Delta Miles card or American Express Miles card. I mean, if you're trying to travel on a budget and still do luxury.
So so getting into that, are you a part of any rewards? Because I know airlines do rewards, and then like you said, like card rewards. Do you use those when you travel, or you just kind of like?
So yeah, my favorite right now is Delta. I also have American Express, but I do like using the Delta lounge. So if you're a part of the different clubs, you have access to like the Sky Miles Club or the American Express Club. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting one of those cards. It's definitely a luxury experience.
Yeah,
yes, it's on my bucket list. Yeah. First class. I've never been first class. Y'all flown first class?
I have not,
but it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, and I need to get in one of those sky lounges because I'm always seeing them on TikTok. No, like it's a whole new world in the airport. Because baby, I'm just
okay with the mermaid.
What?
It's a whole new world. Is that Little Mermaid?
You know what?
Okay, I'm like, is that Little Mermaid?
You know what, BFOs, y'all see what I did there?
She ain't even see what she did there.
Okay, so speaking of like different amenities and different things, when you travel, I've been hearing a lot about TSA PreCheck. That's the new thing. Global entry, I think, is for international. Do you use either of those? Do you have global entry or TSA PreCheck?
So I have TSA PreCheck, and then I also have Clear. I have not taken the time to do global entry yet, but that's definitely next on my list. Out of the two, as far as domestic, I would say PreCheck is my fave, but it honestly depends on the airport. So if one day TSA PreCheck's line is back outside, I may do Clear. It just depends on the airport and the day, honestly.
So tell us about, because I do have TSA PreCheck, and that's lovely. But like, tell us about Clear. I have heard about that.
Okay, so Clear, they use eye recognition or fingerprint recognition. And I think Clear is $189 a year versus TSA PreCheck is $85 for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think that's the main difference.
Which, that's not bad. But that Clear, baby, so all they got to do is look in your eyes. Like,
yeah, and I know it's only available in certain, like, I don't think Tampa Airport has, I think Orlando Airport has Clear. So you have to go to Orlando to be able to do that. I do know that Clear... people that are flight risk, and maybe this is giving away too much.
Wait a minute.
I've heard that they've been able to get accepted into the Clear program versus TSA PreCheck. Because TSA PreCheck, if you've done anything bad that poses a flight risk, it's a no, automatic no. But I have heard that Clear,
that's a little concerning,
is a little bit different.
So I want to say a big difference between those two too is with TSA PreCheck, you have to go in for a quick interview.
Yeah.
Whereas Clear, if it's a day where the line is long, you're like, oh my God, I got to get through the airport line. You can quickly go to Clear and you'll sign up. It's not as extensive as a process as TSA PreCheck. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking those. TSA PreCheck, highly recommend though.
For sure.
Taking off those shoes, we're past that.
Listen. So past it.
Yes.
We're in it's a different world for us now. A whole new world. Okay. I'm
not gonna say nothing.
I'm not gonna beat that dead horse.
She being corny. Y'all know I call Mimi corny.
Hey, but y'all be laughing though. And do. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk hotels. Okay. So what is your favorite company, or I guess that's probably the right word, hotel brand that you're liking right now when you travel?
I honestly want to say I do not have a favorite.
You don't?
I guess within the US, no, I don't have a favorite. It's so many different chains and hotels. Sometimes I like a small boutique hotel. Sometimes I want a large company. It just depends. But in the U.S., I want to say Marriott, but I want to say that's because it's all I can think about right now. But it just depends on the country, honestly.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, have you ever stayed at a Ritz?
I have stayed at a Ritz.
Is it all that hype? Because I have too, and I'm like,
it's not. And some of them honestly have that old school carpet, and I'm like, I'm paying for this for what? So I honestly think Ritz is it's overhyped, definitely.
So what's your standard of like, because some of your friends may say that you're kind of bougie. I'm not that friend because you heard me right there. But some of your other friends may say you do too much, when you look for a hotel. So what's your standard?
I think it definitely depends. If I'm out of the U.S. and I'm traveling somewhere like El Salvador or Jamaica, a third world country, I'm not really expecting too much because I take out my American mindset. But if I'm in America, I'm expecting personalized service, a full mini bar. It just depends. But when I do go out of the country, sometimes I lower my expectations.
So that's actually very interesting because a lot of people talk about like a traveling mindset, and that's one of the things to me that changes when you have been to a couple of countries, a few countries, 16, maybe 19, where like you said, you are able to actually turn your American mindset. I've never heard of that, but that makes sense because you can't go to, like you said, Jamaica and expect.
Especially not Jamaica.
Yeah.
But I love Jamaica. But
Me too.
but the standards are different, like you said. Okay, so what has been like your favorite trip?
Okay, so
I think I know what she's gonna say. Let's see if I know mine.
I have a couple of favorite trips. But I will say my most recent favorite was last year when I went to Ireland, Amsterdam, London, and Italy. That was probably my
I don't
favorite.
know you.
You were gonna say my Euro tour from when I turned 25.
No, but that was lit too. I was gonna say Dubai. You didn't like Dubai?
Okay, I did like Dubai. I'm not gonna lie, but Dubai is one of those places that is overhyped to me. Honestly.
Oh, tell us more, because that's like I feel like
Okay,
people.
so Dubai is cool, but it's only so much that you can do there. It's pretty much all the same thing. You don't see people really doing anything different other than the desert, the dinner in the sky, and they do have a lot of fine dining. But other than that, and the mosque in Abu Dhabi. But that's it. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely cool. But I think
it very expensive.
It's very expensive, and I think that you have to think way too much. You wear a slit that's too high, and now you have the authorities coming after you, or you have one drink too much, and now I got to stay in my hotel room for a whole day, just so nobody remembers me.
Maybe we need that over here in the
Yeah, no, you
absolutely not. No,
I'm just playing, y'all. Y'all don't come for me.
Like it. Versus when I went to Europe, everything was just like kind of get up.
They drink a lot in Europe though too. So
they do,
like,
but sometimes
they do a lot over there.
Girl, and yeah, I think that's why I like it over there.
Yeah.
Nobody's judging you. You kind of get up, go have fun. If I want to drink at 8 a.m. or 5 p.m., no one cares. Versus in Dubai, no ma'am. And you can't even access a liquor store in Dubai. You have to actually just go to somebody who has a liquor license. So it just was too strict for me.
Wow.
Okay. That's a lot of insight because I feel like that's a popular place that people are always talking about. Oh, Dubai's my dream trip, I still want to go. I very much.
You definitely should.
Still want to experience it, but it's good to know what the real deal
Yeah.
is that we like to overhype.
Did you ride camels when you went over there?
Okay, so I have this thing. I be feeling bad for animals. I was like, I know you don't want to be here. They look sad. I'm sad. I catch the energy. I don't want to ride you. So no, I took a picture next to it. I did not get on the camel.
Oh,
Yeah, that is so fun. I've never heard
horses.
that.
I don't like it.
Like
It's
just
sad.
not feeling it.
No, I just tried to get on a horse again in El Salvador. And again, I got that same feeling that came over me of pure sadness. Like, you don't want to be here. I don't want you here.
Look, I feel that because look, I'm a little thick too. Like, baby.
Listen, I'm heavy. I know you feel this on your back.
Listen, the horse, the camo. My God.
It's a no for me.
Okay, so real quick, your mommy. Have you traveled with your son? Have you traveled and how has that experience been?
Okay, so I travel with my son all the time. I got his passport when he was 3 months.
Ooh.
I have done international travel with him to Germany, and it was an absolute experience. It was when he first was learning how to talk, and the clarity of his speech is so good. He yelled, "Help me!" the entire.
How old was he? 3 months. He was a few months.
He was a few months then, but the time that really comes to mind is when he screamed, "Help me!" for like an hour on the plane, and you could hear his little voice yelling at the top of his lungs. It gave me anxiety
how old was
so
he
bad.
then?
He was like probably like 16 months.
Can y'all imagine?
He was super young, but everybody understood that this little baby needed help. And he didn't want to do nothing. He didn't want to sit down. All he wanted to do was run the aisles. And I was like, come on. I can't do it. Yeah, help me.
Yeah, they were ready to report you to the
They sure
authorities.
were. This is not your child, ma'am.
Look, I'm not a mommy and I can't imagine.
Wow.
I cannot. Okay, so last question. What advice would you have for somebody that's out there they want to get out of Miami and Atlanta and they want to venture out into international travel?
Okay, so the biggest piece of advice that I give anyone who wants to get out there and see what this world has to offer is to travel with humility. I think a lot of the times we have to take our American mindset. I always say this because I've traveled with people who had American expectations, and kind of when you go somewhere, you have to take you out of it and kind of see, what can I learn from this place? What can I learn from these people? What is it that I'm willing to take back? To me, it's more than just seeing somewhere. It's what can I bring back to the U.S. and teach my friends or teach my son or teach somebody who just wants to know more about the world. So I think definitely be humble and try to figure out what it means what it means to live life in these people's shoes. So definitely be humble when you travel.
Y'all hear that? That's the key.
Kendrick
all the
Lamar,
things she could have said.
Sit down and be humble.
Right, sit down and be
Hashtag
humble.
sit down and be humble.
Don't be going to these people's countries and acting like, oh, but they don't do it like this in Miami. Okay, y'all, no shade.
Goodbye. I'm sick of me.
I am
y'all.
Miami and Atlanta and y'all to death. If you're from Miami and Atlanta, I love y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know. Those are just the two places that come to mind. I mean,
Houston. We
Houston.
Houston. We cannot forget Houston.
Oh, yeah. The baddies love Houston. So, yes. Well,
Thank you for being our guest today.
We appreciate you, sis.
Yes.
This is great. Thank you.
Imparting your knowledge. I definitely took a lot of notes.
We hope y'all did too. Again, this is only part 1 of this 4 series special that we have going on, Black Girl Luxury. So y'all stay tuned for the next segment, the next series or episode, because we have more in store for y'all. So I'm Shay.
I'm Mimi.
And I'm Spice.
You want to tell the people where they can find you?
Look,
You can find me on Instagram at Brown Spice with an ED at the end. And you can find me on Twitter at Brown Spice and Snapchat at Brown Spice.
And shout out your business page as well, please.
My business page is Spiced Aesthetics. You can find me there.
Yeah.
And
Listen, y'all, the lashes, I'm telling you.
And we're not getting paid for this. Go ahead, sis.
Both of us traveled to Orlando to get our lashes done because a match.
And I'm gonna tell you how I'm getting a bed for here in Tampa for her to come do the lashes.
Listen, y'all tired of waking up with y'all lashes on the pillow? Y'all
Call
Spice. Girl.
Call Spice. Cage, aka Spice.
Yes. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, BFOs. Y'all stay tuned. No, we're not finished.
Right. Until next time.
I'm Shay.
I'm Mimi.
And you've been tuned into The Agenda.
See you next time.